Okay, so some of you Americans may have heard stories about Aussies and seen a bit too much Crocodile Dundee or something like that, and sort of think, is all this stuff true about Aussies being tough, or is it all just a big load of dribble? And British also may think, is it actually dangerous in Australia like we hear or not? Well, truth is that there is a stereotype of the tougher sort, but we have plenty of soft yuppie wimps, you know, white collar types who can't change a car tyre. We've got all that sort of stuff here in the city. But there's others. Like me, for instance, I'm, you know, probably a country boy, maybe a hillbilly. I'll give you an idea of some of the things when I grew up. When I grew up, there used to be a lot of wildlife and stuff hanging around. You know, on occasion we used to have the old snake turn up and that, and once I was opening a gate and there was a little baby snake there, so I picked it up. I mean, this was a live snake, don't worry about it. It was wild, you know, it just come out the bush and I just picked it up. No big deal. It was, yeah, twirling around my fingers and whatnot, and the old man wasn't too happy when I got in the car with it, but he made pretty short work of it shortly thereafter. But that's some of the stuff I used to do as a kid. The other one was, this will surprise the British, we used to get days of like 45 degrees Celsius when I was a kid. 45 degrees Celsius. That's well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it's actually over 110. It might be like 115 or something like that. But we used to, you know, be sitting around under fans or whatever, and the teacher would go, oh, you can't go sitting in here in these classrooms under these fans and all this stuff all the time. Get out there and, you know, do something. And so he'd make us go out there and play cricket, and we'd be standing out there, not carrying little water bottles or anything like that, no water bottles. We'd be out there standing out in the sun, at least we had hats on, but it'd be 45 degrees Celsius, out there standing out there in the sun, fielding, just standing there for hours waiting for a cricket ball, as, you know, a kid of blooming, you know, 9 or 10 years old. And that sort of stuff was normal. The other one that I used to do, and until recently I've still occasionally done, that was not wearing any shoes. Now, when it's 30 degrees Celsius every day over there, you know, you don't want to wear these stupid blooming plastic jogger things that make your feet sweat to bits. So as much as possible, I try not to wear shoes. And I'll also walk on, you know, gravel and stuff like that with no shoes on. The bottom of my feet become like a cow's ass. They still sort of are like that, actually. I've got very hard soles of my feet. But I could walk for, you know, a kilometre or so barefoot on gravel. No big deal. It wouldn't mean anything to me. But that's sort of how your feet end up building up after doing it for long enough. And even as a little kid of about 3 years old, I used to stand on these particular sort of multi-pointed prickle. It's like a, they call them a double G. It's like a some sort of a seed thing, and there's basically spikes all over the blooming thing. And I used to go running through them, and then I'd stop, pull them all out of my foot, and then keep running. And this was like when I was like 3 or 4 years old or something like this. You know, it wouldn't faze me at all. But doing that all your life gives you very solid feet. What's some of the other stuff we used to get up to? Oh, yeah. Not so much when I was a kid, but more so recently. I've sort of, last couple of years, I've chased rabbits on foot and caught them by hand. My brother-in-law thinks that one's funny. you may find it pretty strange yourself, and to be admittedly, it is pretty blooming strange. But I managed in one season there, one few months section there, I over about 4 or 5 months, I grabbed 3 of them, literally chased them and caught them. Now, admittedly, these aren't adults. You can't realistically ever do it with adults. But when they're not fully grown yet, if you're really alert, like I can be, and you're, got decent boots on, you haven't got a sore ankle or sore legs or sore knees or anything like that, and you keep your mind as sharp as a pin with alertness, you can chase these things down and catch them by hand. And I've done it quite a number of times. That 3 times, that was only one particular 5-month period. I've done it other times before and after since. But yeah, there's sort of people that make me and all that stuff look wimpy. They're people who do stuff far more whack than what I've just explained that I've done. I heard of a person who went a bit rogue. I think he killed someone or something like that out in the outback. The cops tried to track him and that couldn't get him. They kept finding that he was out there with, I think it was a .22 rifle and a knife. And that was it. Of course, a few bullets, I think, but he basically was eating kangaroo that he'd shot as he was on the run, and he could, get a fire going and eat this kangaroo. And half the time they'd turn up and the fire was still smouldering, the food would be left there. They'd miss him literally by 2 or 3 minutes, if that, because they reckon they could see the ripples in the water as he'd ran off, because he was sort of near this river. And then he stopped eating that because he had to light a fire to cook the room meat. So what he started doing was ate these cabbage palm things instead. This bloke evaded the cops for weeks on end. And this is just pure bush survival skills. These people just like this. They're sort of not highly trained SAS, blah, blah, blah. You get people that are just like this, and they make some of the things that I do make me not look like bugger all compared to what they can do. But there are those tough outback characters out there who are, like, shit, they could take on an elephant and knock the bastard out. Like, they're seriously blooming survivalists, sort of a, bushman come blooming Crocodile Dundee come whatever. There are people like that out there. But of course, don't think that you won't see the odd sooky bloody rich lawyer who has a tantrum if he doesn't get his cafe latte, because those sort of people also exist. But it is true that there are tough Aussies, and there's quite a few Aussies who are, really quite tough. Oh, the other one I was going to talk about, all the animals, it's not a joke. There are snakes. I make a deliberate habit of walking and watching very intently in front of me and walking slowly during the summer, so I don't get bitten by a snake. Yeah, there's ones that kill you here. According to Bear Grylls, the top 25 deadly snakes in the world, 21 of them live in Australia. That's no joke. We've got 21 of the top 25 deadly snakes. Crocodiles eating people? Yeah, it does happen. The Aboriginals up north don't sort of always take it that seriously, and sometimes almost get grabbed, or actually do on occasion. And they also have a go at people that are camping. You don't want to know. Okay, I will tell you one of the stories. one of the stories is these blokes went swimming, 3 of them. One first bloke jumped in, and he didn't come up for a while. And then they just saw the top half of his body, like his rib cage up, floating up to the surface. And there's a crocodile had eaten the rest of him. And then the crocodile sat there, and these blokes were stuck up a tree because the crocodile was in the water and on land. They were stuck up a tree for 2 days before authorities realised they're missing, something's wrong, we've got to go out and find them. And they went out there and found them, and they'd been waiting up a tree for 2 days straight with this damn crocodile hanging down underneath, waiting for one of them to come out, because the croc had all the time in the world to wait. And he was thinking at some point they'll either fall in the water or they'll go on land and the croc will get them then. And so the old croc was been waiting for him for 2 days. That's the sort of stuff that, you know, has been known to happen. There's plenty of people who have camped near river sites, and the sods have come into the tent and grabbed them by the arm and tried to bloomin' death roll them and drown them and all that sort of stuff. We have scorpions too, but they aren't toxic. They're only quite small. They're sort of cute when you see them. You think, how can a scorpion be cute? Well, they're not like big nasty things. They're just small, and they're interesting to watch in aquariums, I reckon. But they're native, so we can get them here. And I don't think we need licenses or anything from what I gather to get them. They're no big deal, but they won't actually kill you. The ones we've got, they make you very sick and swollen arm or whatever, but they won't actually kill you. Some people get attacked by roos as well on occasion. Man, oh man, they can beat you up if they want to. They can crack your flaming bones and everything when they go nuts. Yeah, I've got box jellyfish, but that's no big deal. They're just jellyfish. You can't swim up in the north about 6 months of the year because these things, if they're jellyfish, if they touch you, you're bloody buggered. So we've got to watch it there. Oh, yeah, Sydney funnel web spiders, they kill you. But they don't kill that many people because they're well enough known about now. But there's been enough people. Many people, like I think it's been like 15 people over the last, umpteen years, 50 years or something. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy things. Oh, locally we've got this spider that it's not right where I am, but about 35 k's away. They reckon there's a big heap of them out the back of the shopping centre. It's about 35 k's from me. And they hiss, and you get near them, and they actually start hissing at you. And you literally can hear them hissing in the flaming where they are on the ground and that. And yeah, they're called bird spiders. And the theory was that they grab birds in trees, but I think it's just that was a name they got, but how, I don't think they really do it, but they do hiss, which is a bit of a strange thing. And, fire ants too. They go stupid and attack people and dogs and stuff like that. They're an ant, and they just go, if you disturb the nest, they go bloody stupid. And they'll quite literally poison your dog with all the ants biting him, but because they've got some sort of a irritant venomy thing. But you got to watch for those bastards. They're mongrels of things. But yeah, that's only sort of up north as well. But anyway, that's just a couple of strange things about Australia.